Hi.
I am so excited to have you ladies here. This is our third Folsom City Lifestyle podcast. Thank you for coming on. We have Jen Glowniak, owner of Miss Jenny's Sprout Academy, and Shaina DiMariano, owner of DiMariano Family Dentistry. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
I know. I'm so flattered that you asked us.
I mean, I couldn't think of two better women to represent local business in Folsom and good times in Folsom. We obviously all met under different circumstances, but we'll go through just kind of some personal stuff and some business stuff. We'll get some good business insight from you and your favorite spots in Folsom, if that's cool. So I'll start with you, Shaina. Owner of a dental practice, very successful dental practice, one that I actually use. Thank you very much. Tell me how you got started.
Well, I was practicing in Sacramento with my dad in his practice, but I lived in Folsom. So the quickest route to answer that is that I figured out that I want to work and live in the same place. So the commuting wasn't the right thing for me because I'm such a people person, and I knew with having my own children, I wanted to be close to them, close to my parents, close to the community. I'm building something in. And so when a practice was up for sale, I kind of just swooped in and dove in head first. I knew nothing about what I was doing. So it was a rough ride. The recession hit right after. So it's been a wild ride, really, but I'm here. Like, we did it. And I'm thrilled to be practicing and working and living in the same place.
Yeah, I feel that because I own a business here in Folsom, obviously, and there's nothing better than living, working, and playing in the same spot. And Jen, you too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got started. You have your own in-home preschool.
I do.
Yeah. Tell me how you got started.
I started in a center. I had 24 children in my class every day. I was there for a few years, and I had my son. He went to kindergarten. I decided I wanted to keep working with children, but on a smaller scale, more intimate. So I started my own. So I have 12 children every day with my lovely assistants, who I love. And yeah, it's going great. I'm in my 9th year.
I was going to ask that, how long you've been doing
9
it.
years
That's awesome.
in home. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Could you imagine? I couldn't imagine having 12 children plus aides in my home. So you are a saint, first of all, for working with children.
Sometimes I wonder, what am I doing? But then they go home to their families and
Well,
we have a great time.
The feedback that I've gotten for people that use you is extremely positive in the sense that they feel like it's their home. Like you love their children as much as they love their children, right?
Yes, of course.
I certainly know that firsthand because you love my son as much as I love my son.
I love your son.
And I appreciate that. But that's the kind of care you get when you do an in-home preschool.
Yeah, and it's different when you go to work. You're in your center classroom with all the kids. You have your coworkers and you have your boss, and it's great. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
But when I have them coming to my home and I'm cooking them breakfast, I'm cooking them lunch. They are playing in my backyard. With my cats, and they're all hanging out in my house every day, and it's a different kind of relationship that you build. Heavy trust, and yeah, they're all like my little.
I actually want to give you a bit of validation right now about what you do for a living, because I remember when I had children, and then because I'm a working mom and a business owner, sometimes people would use the phrase, I think it's like, I didn't have kids to have somebody else raise them for me. If you need to use a place to have your children. Or some people might choose to not do preschool and just go straight to kindergarten. Yep. And there's a bunch of right ways to do it. But looking back, I would say that, yeah, you guys, your job, you do help us raise these kids. And it's a wonderful
100%.
thing. It's actually not, I don't see that as a negative at all. It was so nice to have this support. You've done it more than a lot of new parents. So I used to say that to teachers. I'm like, I don't know, you've done this 50 more times or 100 or whatever more times than I've done it. You tell me what to do.
Exactly.
So I validate. I think it's a really special thing that you do for young children.
Thank you. And I mean, for the rest of their lives, they're going to have other influences on them. So why not start at a young age?
Yeah.
Yep. And outside of our professional careers, you're both heavily volunteering with various things from sports to chamber boards to that type of thing. Shaina, you were the board president for the Choose Folsom Chamber, right?
Yeah. I I kind of got into that board as a young professional, and then I was there just as a liaison, and then I became a board member and then chairman. And then now I've actually termed out, so I'm doing more with economic development and tourism in Folsom. And so
Oh,
that's a really cool take for a business owner to look at what our city and what the leaders in our community and Choose Folsom are doing to keep it the place that we all enjoy being. So I'm
hmm
having fun with it, but it is a bit of my service back to the business community.
yeah, I love that. Jen and I want to know what's happening with that hockey rink.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Fundraising, fundraising.
Okay.
So it's a lot of
hello.
idea right now. I know, right? There's always people. This is how that stuff gets going, though, right? So that word of mouth
Yeah.
and grassroots happens, and so right now it's still an idea, but one that I know that we would all really like to happen.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Jen and I both have sons that play hockey. So we are so excited about the rink. Something close to home so we don't have to drive to Roseville. But that would be good for the community because
Mhm.
every tournament that would be hosted, all of the teams would be required to stay at one of our local hotels.
Yes,
And that hotel
Tiffany,
tax is huge.
you're speaking the language I've learned over the years in business here is that the hotels make a
Yep.
difference. We don't pay attention to that as residents, but when we talk about city revenue right now, that's a huge thing because a lot of companies stop traveling for work, and so the hotels that were full aren't. So this is a way to capitalize on the space we have and what we have to offer here in Folsom. And trust me, there's a lot of those discussions that happen and planning and all kinds of exciting things
Yeah.
that come to fruition.
Well, that's fun. I can't wait to talk to you more about that economic development piece. I'm very curious.
Yeah.
Jen, your volunteerism, it's everything, right? You joke about fundraising, but really you did fundraise for the Capital Thunder Youth Hockey Club, and you're heavily involved there. And anyone that needs assistance fundraising, you helped your family with Relay for Life. What
year.
else? I mean,
Yes.
you have a passion for volunteerism, I guess,
Mhm.
huh?
I do need to get more into working with the city. I would like to dive into that a little bit more.
Well, it sounds like we found a niche for you. You can
I-
fundraise.
I know, and then
Yeah.
I'm thinking fundraising sounds like such a challenging role to volunteer to do. Is that just something that you felt
It-
confident about?
Well, it's because of my parents in Relay for Life.
Mhm.
My parents or my mom was chair for Relay for Life. It's been done at Sutter Middle School for many years.
Mhm.
And so I think just having my parents as role models, like really diving in deep year after year. I mean, their houses are just filled with like raffle baskets and just setup stuff. So
Yeah.
I think just seeing them and having them, and once Luke started playing hockey, I was like, well, that's what I can do to help.
That
Mhm.
makes sense.
And just wanting to be involved in what your kid's passionate about too it helps. It really does.
yeah.
It really does. And I think that's the common theme in our May issue is our ladies issue. And you can see it right here. We featured some really incredible women, and it all starts with giving back to the community, every
Mhm.
single one of them. I tried at one point to calculate the number of community service hours this group has given, and it was just impossible.
Yeah.
Combined
And
together.
Combined.
Mhm.
I couldn't even do it for our team, right? Like it was impossible. So it's just really fascinating to see such incredible women who are just good human beings, business owners, and taking time to give back to the community along with their family lives. It's incredible.
It is like a really great bonus that you can also do it while being there for your kids because
Mhm.
if I'm not at work, I really do want to be with my family and I enjoy the heck out of my kids. So if I'm sponsoring swim team or volunteering at swim team or whatever, it's nice that I'm there with them too and they get to love that I'm there and participating. So
Mhm.
it kind of just everybody gets served and it's fulfilling for all of us.
I love that. And you have several children. You have 4 children. How do you possibly manage that kind of time? I mean, I have one son, and I give everything I have to the hockey club and to the baseball organization. I can't imagine doing it for 4. How do you juggle it?
The chaos. Well, we're a blended family, so we have there are wonderful parents across the board. So my daughter's dad, my stepson's mom, and then the girl's stepmom. We just have a whole village is really what it's turned into. Plus, my mom has played an integral role. So I really always tout the benefit of living near the grandparents is such an awesome thing that I was strategic about doing, but it has worked out so well for my children because it really does take all of us working together, and we have a lot of fun together. I mean, that keeps you going, right? And so, I don't know, they're great kids, and you just go one day at a time. Although I have been known to say, you basically have to sometimes choose who you're going to disappoint is how you get through all of this responsibility, whether it's your, your work, your employees, the people who are waiting on you to get the teacher appreciation week stuff done. You're always having to choose, like, who can I not prioritize right now? And somehow it all just ends up falling into place.
I mean, I think that's well said. It's not choosing who you're going to let down. It's choosing who you're going to prioritize, because I can guarantee nobody in your life feels let down, lady.
We'll go with that. I love it.
Let's talk about Folsom for a minute. Jen, what's your favorite date night in Folsom?
Ooh, we go on a lot of date nights.
That's good.
So, I'm just going to start spurting some off. We love Gaslight.
Yeah.
One of my favorite meals in Folsom, a pepperoni pizza, gluten-free, Gaslight salad with a glass of Chardonnay.
Perfect.
Their back room is
Yes.
gorgeous.
I did a holiday party there for my team. It was wonderful.
You just feel like relaxed in there, and it's really nice. We also love Land Ocean for date night, or even date brunch. They have a really nice patio. Where else do we like to go? Well, our happy hour spot. We love going to FLB.
Yep.
Watch the game.
Fun.
Great happy hour. So those are kind of like the 3 places that we typically end up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shayna, what about you? When you and Paul have a
my
rare
God.
moment alone?
I was going to say, I'm going to be real with you. And date nights have often consisted of going and watching Little League baseball games when it's not even our kids playing, because that's how immersed in our life baseball had become last season. And so there's a lot of that sort of thing where we just kind of go meetups. What are our friends' kids playing? What's the sport? This and that. We have a lot of fun with that. But Back Bistro's a go-to.
Oh, yeah.
McCooney. I mean, really, the places you said too. We do like to just go down to Sutter Street and see where we land. And I think the reality is, like, you really can't go wrong in Folsom. We have a lot of places that are unique. Mandaris is wonderful. The food there is so great. And even if you're going to some place that's not just a local chain, it's still, you're running into your community and your friends. And so it's fun wherever you go. It's pretty easy here. We do have it really easy
We
here.
really do.
We're very lucky.
I never leave Folsom.
No.
I have no reason to, except for hockey.
Exactly.
I mean, you could have nice little date night in your front area.
I know.
You got some nice lights going on.
Yes, we do kind of, like, by the time we get to Friday night, we're done for with people. We both talk a lot in our jobs, and we're around people all week long. So Friday night is kind of comedy night. We kind of hunker down, we eat there, we'll pick something comedic to watch. And that is honestly like our perfect date night. Or we'll watch some sort of athletics. We'll watch a sporting event on TV, like something with the well, not NFL on Friday, but NBA, whatever's on. So that's kind of our jam.
Yeah.
But we do the front yard. I got to get the solo stove out there. We can start having some neighborhood fun that way.
Nice. I'm coming by.
I know I've always wanted that kind of street in Folsom.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It was so crazy when I
across the
met each
street.
of you separately, obviously, and then I was like, "Oh, here, you meet you, and
Yeah.
Shayna meet Jen," and all of a sudden we find out they're neighbors.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Right across the street. Small world in Folsom like that. And have
It
you
really
heard of
is.
places like, are there streets and all kinds of courts and things in Folsom where they always are doing these fun parties and gatherings and everything? And I'm like, that's only in a small town kind of
sounds like
vibe
Folsom.
community. Yeah,
It's fantastic.
it's neat.
It's fantastic. So what's next with business for you?
Yeah, so if you know me at all, you know that I've had 6 pregnant employees in the past year. So 3 of them have had their babies and 3 are having babies still. So it has been a whirlwind of just going with the flow and seeing where things take us with that. Because what I realize is right now what's changing in my business is me sort of mapping out what's their lifestyle like now that they become mothers and things change for them. How do I do the best that I can to support their vision of how life looks while also making sure my patients have the opportunities to be seen that they need. So I think it's a bit of shuffling for me of just making sure all the parts fit together and work together right now. In terms of dentistry, I mean, that's always evolving and changing, but I've had a lot of fun with trying to find ways to give people what they're looking for with their smile without going over the top. Because I think I've come to realize people just want teeth to look like teeth most of the time. They don't have to look like you're a celebrity. It's like, how do we take the nuances and let people keep the teeth they have and just make them look the nicest they can? And so I've just had a lot of fun with that with people, and it's really rewarding to keep it simple for people if I can.
That's awesome. And your staff, by the way, is fantastic. Every time I go in, they know me by name. I see them out in the community. They know me by name, and they're just very, very sweet.
Thank you for saying that. I feel the same, which is why I want to work with what life looks like for them.
Well, I know a great preschool if they need one.
I know exactly, right? Shoot them all over. You can basically just be exclusive to my office. We can fill half your spots.
I could fill it up.
There you go. But you've got a waiting list.
I do.
What are we going to do about that?
We're going to work. Yeah, we're set for August, and I do have a waiting list. But we're going to get through graduation. I got a few going to kindergarten and TK.
All the little touches you do for your kiddos is so special. Yesterday was Earth Day. What did you do for Earth Day?
Yes, we walked to the park. I am going to miss the park. We're so close, but we're moving soon. But we walked to the park. We picked up trash, and they were so excited. Usually, I mean, the Monday after a weekend at the park, there's some parties, and, it's a nice weekend, so there tends to be a little bit of extra. But then they got to play and go and run and race, and it was a good day. So,
did any ever bring you like beer cans or anything?
I did get a red Solo cup. So
there you go. Party was had.
Yeah.
Party's over.
Yeah.
Are you growing the business when you move, or are you staying with this number of children?
I will stay with the same number of children. Legally, I can have 12 max every day.
Okay.
But I am growing my classroom size a little bit, so
That's
I'm
nice.
very excited about that. Since I've lived in that home, my classroom has taken so many different directions. I mean, I've been there for 8 years, it was my entire home. I mean, the front living room, the family room, the dining room. I dedicated every space to the preschool, but it was just me and Luke. So I was like, I'm gonna dive fully into this, and then I added another human into my life, and so we needed some family space. So then I brought it down a little bit, and then now it's brought down a little bit even more, just to have more family space.
Yep.
But now we're growing a little bit, so very
Love
excited.
that. That's a
for
good
that.
opportunity for you to reclaim a little bit of your family space and grow your classroom space. It's great. And of course, you're staying in Folsom naturally.
Yeah, it's worked though. Like I don't have any complaints, and I don't think any of the children have any complaints either. So
I'm fitting 6 of us in a home that's 1,400 square feet.
I mean, we're
it
kind
can
of
be
in
done,
the same
right?
boat.
Yeah, like you've got all the kids during the day. Mine stay overnight, but not as many. But yeah, it's like you can do it, and because it's such a desirable community to be in, I'm like, well, this is where I'm at. We're making it happen.
I love our neighborhood.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's great.
Very good. What's your favorite community event that we do here in Folsom?
I mean, I'm gonna go rodeo. It's like so easy for me. I've done it every year since I moved here, and
I might have a new one.
really,
I might have a new one.
What is it? Oh, yeah, dragon boat
did
races.
you guys have so much fun?
We did.
That event was spectacular. I had so much fun, and I didn't even think I was super nervous. And I'm sure for Powerhouse and the event staff for that event, they probably were like, "It's the first one."
Yeah,
they did so good, and
it was super successful, right?
Yeah,
I was
That's
like
what I read.
running to the booth to put my name in that
For next
a
year.
vote for next year. Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, they raised over $100,000 for Powerhouse,
Amazing.
an amazing organization, and they had 1,000 people there.
That is really, really awesome, you guys. I'm so sad I missed it, but I mean, for good reason I missed. But I think it sounds phenomenal, and now we can look forward to it next year. And that's something in Folsom. It's so crazy how they'll start with something and it just lands and it takes off. Like Community Service Day, it was just from year one, it was a success, and it's been going ever since. So I
Mhm.
don't know, just good vibes all
Yeah.
around.
Dragon boat races, they started with 9 teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to misquote this in a big way, but in Myrtle Beach, they started their first year with 9 teams. And now it's something like 57 teams every
It's
year.
in the 50s, I think. Yeah, but
It's a lot of money, and that's a lot of participation. And you're out there and you're rowing a boat. It's the ultimate team building. So you can get your team out there. And the Rotary of Folsom did a great job. They all dressed as nomies,
Oh my gosh, they're the best.
rowing with
They
my
were
nomies.
They're so festive.
They are, and you can get as festive as you want. It's
so
so much
great.
fun. I think they did a good job.
Okay,
Shout out
we'll have
to
to do
Kristen
it
for
next
coordinating
year.
that.
yeah. I mean, but the rodeo is pretty.
Well, I mean, that's
Top
classic
notch.
Folsom. That's
Yeah.
the easy one. But I have to say, volunteering there is always just as much fun for me as going. Well, no, maybe not the first year when it was one of the hottest years. It was like one of those 114-degree things. And then,
Yeah.
like, ushering in the sun. And so I paid my dues through the different volunteer
Initiation to the
jobs.
rodeo.
Yeah, well, I
love
volunteered
it.
with
Yes.
you this year,
We had
and we
so much
ran out of
fun.
water the first day.
I know, it's
It
true.
was hot.
It was really hot.
It was hot.
But despite the heat, everybody always ends up having a blast.
Mhm.
It's so much fun.
And we always figured it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I generally now take a group of like 20 people in my family every year. I buy the seats well ahead of time and just know that those tickets will not go to waste. Even if people start dropping out, I've got people to come take the spots up.
Yeah,
It's
is
a tradition.
really good event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this year they're adding an extra night. The sheriffs are doing their own
Perfect.
rodeo. So it's going to be even more opportunity for fun. It'll be
Perfect.
great.
There's a
Yeah.
contest for that going on right now.
I know, right? And then I had
I-
Mutton Busters. My kids did that. I don't know
Did
if
they
Luke ever
really?
did that.
No,
No.
his little friend at the time did. We went and supported her and watched her.
I mean,
It's cute.
we could say my youngest did it. She got really close. she kind of backed out at the last second, but it was still a hoot. It was so much fun.
I love it. I love how festive people get going to the rodeo, and then
Mhm.
obviously the shopping and the events beforehand. Just great.
You're not from
community
here, so
involvement.
what is your favorite thing, Ben?
The rodeo would have been my answer as
Mhm.
well. But I also, sip and stroll is big for me. I love
Oh,
that. Just going
yeah.
up and down Sutter Street and drinking wine and seeing everyone you know. And, that's a big one for me as well.
Before Sutter Street was overhauled, it was so quiet all the time down there. It was basically like you'd think of it, little kitschy shops and antiques and things. And so I love, it never gets old going down there and seeing how vibrant it is now, especially with the sidewalk seating.
Mhm.
And there's always something going on. The businesses are thriving. It's just been really fun through my childhood and to now seeing how it's evolved. I don't know. It's just been really, really awesome.
It's a lot of fun. And then the holidays, especially.
Oh yeah, can't miss down there during the holidays.
Santa Claus down there and the ice rink. And it's really, really something special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. The ice rink is like crazy popular now.
It is.
It sells out,
Mm-hmm.
but they do such a nice job with it. It's such a beautiful setting too.
They need more fire pits. They can
Oh,
expand that a little bit and
heck
make a little bit
yes.
more money and get more people out there.
Never too many fire pits.
I tried to do that for Reed's birthday and it was already gone. I was like, oh, bummer.
That's a good thing though. It's a good bad thing.
It is a
right?
good bad thing. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so advice for young women. What you
Go.
got, Jen?
You're up first.
You're first. You're first.
Let me
Yeah,
take a
right.
sip
Take a sip.
first.
Okay. Oh yeah,
little-
everybody.
A little
Get
sip
the
of
brain
bubbly.
power going.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom. Well, I think I put in the magazine, listen to your folks.
Right.
Listen to your folks. Take advice from your folks, at least for me. I may have not at first. And then I was like, wait, they're giving me really great advice. They're steering me in the right direction.
Yeah.
They know what they're talking about and they've been here before. So, and then I look at them now. I'm like, you always want to take advice from people that are living a life
Yeah.
that you want to live, right?
Yeah.
So, going to the people that I like her, I want to do that, make friends with that person,
Yep.
It's true.
navigate
good advice.
towards people that you're like, I want to do that.
That's really true.
Surround yourself with what you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It seems very too on the nose with my job, but I definitely encourage smiling because I think it just opens the world up to you. People will feel open to approaching you,
Yeah.
and you can get more out of getting to know people. It's just a great opener. I have daughters, so I do tell them. I love that I grew up in the time where it was like girls can do everything. We could do it all.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm changing that message a little bit for my daughters where I'm like you can do anything, but doing everything is probably not the goal, and it's not really realistic either. And so think about where the sacrifices might be, or just know they're going to be a part of the package, because it didn't
Mm-hmm.
even occur to me in choosing this career, having seen my home and my dad doing this job and being a great dad. But it was just different for me on this side of it, being the mom. And so I think that just knowing that's gonna happen. It's not always gonna be you doing everything.
Yeah,
But
that's good advice. All of those pieces of advice I should have listened to a long time ago.
oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I'm a believer of take it all in. When you're pregnant, everybody tells you, don't do this and
Enjoy
do this.
it.
I'm someone who takes it all in and then decides like what to keep and what to throw out. But I'm never opposed to any of the advice. And that's actually good business advice I got from Adam Frick, who you probably know in town. He's
Yeah,
everywhere.
he's fabulous. Folsom
Very early
Times.
on. Yes, very early on. He said, just listen to everybody.
Mhm.
If somebody wants to pitch you, if somebody's selling you something, you never know what they have to offer and if you actually need it.
Yep.
And I thought that was really good to know.
Great advice. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Anything else? Anything else you want to cover? Any other words of advice? Words of wisdom?
Oh my goodness. It's so funny to think like, oh, we're wise
I
old
know.
women now. Things to say.
I
What can
mean,
we offer?
I'm still learning a lot in life, so
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the key is always learn. You can learn from everybody around you in every situation. And that's what I try and tell my son in particular. He's a little bit like me and he wants to learn by doing. He doesn't want to take a ton of advice, but as much as I could give him, just learn from every situation and everyone around you.
Mhm.
Everyone's
Yeah.
been through something different, and you never know what struggles people are fighting behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So always show people grace. I think is a good one.
I know I find myself saying that a lot with
Mhm.
when the kids, we've all got middle schoolers. They're so critical at this age, whether they're being
Intense.
criticized or they observe something, right?
Middle
And
school's hard.
it's really tough, but it's so different from our experience too. So it's tough, but in a different way. So we're trying to keep up with it. But it's like you really don't know why they're acting like that. If they're
Yeah.
talking about somebody, it's just always remembering you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I mean, the middle school thing is tough. It's going fine. It's just, I think,
Yeah.
being the parent and watching all the hard moments and lessons and
Mhm.
letting them just evolve without us
Mhm.
hovering, right? You got to just let it happen.
Yeah.
It's tricky, but it's cool too. I mean, they're a lot of fun to be around right now. I feel like I see that with you guys. You both
Oh yeah.
love being with your kids.
Oh, we
Yeah.
do. Absolutely.
Actually, Luke went on a trip this last weekend without me, and it was the
Really?
first time. Well, without his dad. Like the first time
Yeah.
that he's done something actually hockey related without me present, and I was very nervous. I was like, "How's he gonna be? Is he gonna talk to people? Is he gonna
Yeah.
like be on his phone all the time? Is he like how is he going to experience being in another big city without me?" And I think he did great.
Nice.
I'm sure
And-
he did.
but that was a big thing for
Yeah.
him, But Chris said that he was very like outgoing and talkative, and they explored Chicago together, and so that was really special.
Wow. Yeah.
for
Chicago.
him.
That is a big trip because I was thinking,
Yeah.
yeah, my girls go away to camp and stuff, but that is nothing compared to Chicago. That would be a lot for me too to think about. But it's really cool to see them go out and experience something
Mhm.
on their own. I think it's an entirely different experience, right? To go do it without your parents and their security. But that did make me think when you were talking about advice and what to say to young people. I think as a parent, I tell myself, I'm here because I always had a safe place to land
Mhm.
with my parents. I could fail, but it would be okay. So it wasn't like they saved me. It's just that I knew I was loved. It was secure. I was always okay. And so that's really what I'm trying to give the kids because what came easy to me was not what I chose as a career. And that's okay. I mean, I don't necessarily want my kids to choose what's easy if it's not where their passion and heart is. But you got to know you have a place to land
Yep.
through all that.
That's very important. Very wise. Very
Wise
wise,
old women.
Shaina.
That's us. That's who we are
That's
now,
us.
ladies.
Apparently. I think I learned more from the two of you today than I have in a while.
Oh my!
I
Well, do
love
you
it.
have anything to impart upon us?
No, I'm learning from you.
Oh man!
You guys are the best. You guys are the best.
Who knew?
Well,
Right?
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's what we say all the time. We kind of text each other and just go, "Did you know that we're the best?"
Oh yeah.
Right?
And then she says, "Of course."
Of course, naturally.
Of course.
I mean, you launching this magazine, looking back on the start to now, which is still early and still new.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to take away from getting going from nothing, from scratch?
So, to your point earlier about listening to everyone, I'm grateful that many business owners in this town did, because 1 year ago, I was knocking on doors of business owners saying, "You don't know me. You don't know this magazine. You've never seen it before, but I need you to take a chance on me. And I need you to believe what I believe, that Folsom needs something just for Folsom." And I am incredibly grateful. Our 1 year anniversary is our June issue, so you'll see more in there. But I'm incredibly grateful so many of you took that chance and have benefited greatly from it. You've got a wait list now. I can't take all the credit for that. A lot of that's referral based.
I mean, I get those calls.
Yeah. And I mean, you're seeing success in the practice.
Yeah.
People saying they saw you in the magazine. I mean, it works, and it's a beautiful thing. And I love the feedback we're getting from the community. It's very positive. And when I ask for, solicitations for local business owners and local folks that are doing great in the community, I get tons.
Yeah.
And that's really rewarding to me. The May issue, the ladies issue, and the June issue, the men's issue, those were some of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make.
Oh, I can imagine.
Because I'm taking 4 to 6 of Folsom's women and 4 to 6 of Folsom's men, and
There's
promoting
so
them.
many that
There's
you.
so
And
many.
that's the thing is I thought I knew so many businesses in Folsom. I knew all I needed to know. But since you've been doing this role, you've brought up so many that I
Thousands.
hadn't heard of, or people I didn't know or hadn't heard of. And it's been so fun to actually have somebody to ask for new recommendations for things, or to be able to go, who needs support? Who needs me to go out and go give them some love or show up and patronize their business?
Yeah. Well, and every business owner has a story, just like the
Yeah.
two of you, right? They came from somewhere, whether they grew up here or they relocated here for a better opportunity for their family, or if they left their big corporate job and wanted to start something small, something they believed in. And then let's not even get started on the nonprofits that are present here. I mean, it's
Oh.
just incredible. So it's been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life, albeit very, very hard, right? We're advertiser supported. So it's me knocking on business owners' doors. And, I find myself more often than not, my husband gets mad at me. He's like, "Will you stop buying things when you go talk to these business owners?" I'm like,
It's so hard.
Nope. Not happening.
if I'm talking to a boutique about advertising and I'm looking around, I'm buying their stuff because it's amazing. And I just heard their story and what they're working for, and I want to support that. So
Gosh, I know I don't want that to ever change.
It's been a
about
journey.
our communities, that it's all so personal.
Mm-hmm.
People know each other's stories.
Very personal.
At any of your events that I've been to, you have a lot of vendors come out, and same thing. Chris
Start
is like,
shopping.
What? I thought you were going for like
Totally.
this. I'm like, well, yeah, but there were all these cute little boutique
Yeah.
vendors there
Yeah.
too.
And they're all
like,
individual
sorry.
business owners, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm shopping
Okay,
here."
that is a big shout out. Actually, I want to give to Folsom, because you were talking about date night and stuff, but it's really gift shopping. I can
Oh yes.
go shop for gifts in Folsom so easy.
So
I
easy.
hate doing it online. I need to see things. I need to know what I'm buying somebody. And there's just a lot of like when you stumble upon something for someone and go, "Oh, this is them." That's how I gift shop. I'm not good about knowing, "Oh, I'm going to go on Amazon and buy this one thing, But anyway, that's so easy in Folsom. No matter, I can go to Palladio, Sugar Mama, down to Sutter Street, anything. There's just all these places where there's always a gift in
Yeah.
Folsom for somebody.
I think you just brought up a good point too, is just gift giving has gotten out of control, in my opinion. Everyone's just exchanging gift cards and that type of thing. In my mind, gift giving is, "Oh, I saw this and it made me think of you and I wanted you to have it."
Super personal.
I'm like, I don't want you to give me a list. I want it to be personal. I want it to be thoughtful. You know, Jen just went to Mexico and she brought me back some almond tequila. That to me is very personal.
Yes, yes, right.
Oh, yeah.
She was definitely thinking of you. I love that.
We were tequila tasting, and I mean, I don't know if you're aware, but there are some pretty interesting tequilas in this world.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, like chocolate tequila, like vanilla, all these things. And I asked the guy, I'm like, ¿Dónde está almond?
Like, you're just like, this probably exists.
It
at
has
this
to
point.
exist.
Yeah.
And he was like, I got you. So
That's
It does.
phenomenal.
It was one of those nights I went to Cabo and I brought back some almond tequila because we tried it and we were at my house. It had a gathering or something and we pulled out the almond tequila and everyone fell in love. But you can't find it anywhere here.
Yeah,
So
I
anyone that
never
goes to
heard of it.
Mexico, bring me some back. I'm down.
Noted.
you heard it here.
Exactly. This
It
is
is
the thing
delicious.
everybody needs to try
It
now.
is delicious.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great to know. But yeah, it's true. Like, there's gifts are personal. My staff, my employees, I try to always go get them things myself, choose things that I think are for them. I feel like more than the dollar value, in my mind, it means more to them that it came from my heart and what
100%.
I think would be good for them. So I don't know. That's just special to me.
My boyfriend's mother does a really great thing. She is like, if you really want a gift card to this place because you love shopping there, by all means, that's what you're gonna get. You know, like I love going to MTT and shopping there. So that's But for like Luke, for instance, she was like, I need items. Like do some, and I think it's important for kids because I think kids are starting to really fall into that like gift card, which is great. But bringing back that like, what do they
Personal sentiment of it.
Yes, personal. And if we're doing that for our children, then that's something that they can take on.
One of my favorite
Sounds
things
like a
to
mission.
do. Yeah, take Reed out and have him shop for other people.
Yes.
Let him pick something personal, even if it's small. The dollar store, the $5 store. Let's go. Let's pick out something that's unique for your friends, and it's fun. Yeah.
Oh, look, we're all cohesive on this plan.
Imagine that.
We're gonna raise the next world of gift givers, next generation.
In Folsom only.
Just here. You can only shop at Folsom. This is all you get. This is all you have
Right?
to choose from.
Well, you don't need to go anywhere else.
I was like,
for
it
sure.
sounds pretty accurate for my family. I'm definitely always harping at the holidays and everything. I'm like, we're buying that local, right? We're going out. If you want, go
Yes,
to
please.
Sephora in Folsom. So let's do it that way.
Absolutely. Well, very good. Well, thank you for your time, ladies.
Done.
Very insightful, amazing conversation. I am so proud of you both, and I respect you both so very much. I appreciate your time.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I echo
Thank you.
that. Definitely.
Thank you for everything you are bringing to Folsom.
You got it.